Sit down in a thinking chair and think.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to Trending.
What's up?
Today is Thursday, October 28th. We're a few days out from Halloween, so we thought it'd be fun to do the Halloween Spooktacular edition
Spooktacular
of Trending. So we are in our Halloween costumes. We are in Joe's car.
Yes.
And we are on our way right now, even though it's not officially Halloween. We're going to go trick-or-treating this morning.
I don't think anybody would mind.
No. People have got their candy ready to go, right?
I hope. Yeah.
They better be ready. So, we were joking that we're probably a little bit too old to be trick-or-treating, possibly.
Yeah, I mean,
but
will we get carded at the door?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. So
All
I think it's going to work out just fine.
Nice.
So we'll get to the trending topics here in just a second, but we got to talk about our costumes.
That's right. All right.
So if you don't know who I am, I look kind of like a golfer. I get that occasionally. I'm not a golfer. I'm none other than Mr. Steve Burns.
Legend.
Steve was the host of Blue's Clues back in the day.
Legendary.
So if you're a child of the 90s like I am, you probably remember Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yes.
But he had a kind of a miraculous resurgence this year after 20 or 25 years where he was nowhere to be found. He came back and he's kind of made this kind of emotional, kind of fun plea to the 20s and 30-somethings who grew up with him. Just a kind of fun little, hey, I'm Steve. Good to see you again.
I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you. Ever.
That's right.
So, anyway, it was a cool thing.
Yes.
I remember watching Blue's Clues, and I thought it'd be funny to be Mr. Steve for Halloween.
I think it's a clever Halloween costume, so
I like
10
it.
out of 10, bro. I
like
love it. Yes.
Plus, I got a cool new hat.
That's right. There you
So,
go. Just
okay,
kidding.
I'm Steve from Blue's Clues.
I'm Ted Lasso, main character of the Apple Plus show, Ted Lasso.
Yes, great show.
That's right. I grew facial hair all month so I could have a push broom beard or like a mustache like this.
Yes. They came in real nice.
It did. I guess so. Anyways, I love the show Ted Lasso, and I thought it'd be fun to be Ted.
Yes.
And people who watch the show will probably get it, and those who don't probably won't. They'll
Just like
say,
Blue's Clues.
They'll probably say, "Hey, you're a little bit early for No Shave November."
Right.
So, anyways, so I just like one of the things I like to say is that engaging in a challenge is like riding a horse. If you're comfortable, you're probably doing it wrong. So you got to get out of your comfort zone.
It's a great lassoism,
Yes,
which he is full of those.
That's
And
right.
now you will be for the next few days as well.
that's
which
right.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna enjoy it. Absolutely.
We should mention we're on our way to our friend's house. We're going to
Yes.
go trick or treat at our friend Cheryl Plucker's house.
That's right.
If you go to Ridgepoint, you might know Cheryl. She used to be on staff. She's a very big personality.
Right.
And she has mentioned to both of us that she would like to be a guest on Trending someday. So we're making her dreams come true. She doesn't know we're coming.
No.
We're going to just ring her doorbell and say trick or treat and just see what happens.
That's
so
right.
Stay tuned. We're on our way to Cheryl's house.
Let's do it.
In the meantime, let's tackle today's trending topics.
All right.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Coach Lasso?
Let's do it.
Okay. So first up, Buzz Lightyear is trending this morning.
Whoa, nice.
Speaking of 90s comebacks.
That's
so
right.
I actually haven't seen it yet, but there's a trailer. There's gonna be a new Buzz Lightyear movie.
Okay.
And it's the backstory. It's the
prequel?
origin story of Buzz Lightyear.
Origin story. Okay.
So I'm excited about that. Why do you think Toy Story has had such lasting power? Everybody loves Toy Story.
I know, and we could probably get too into the weeds about it, but everyone has plastic toys. Obviously, we, spent hours as kids making up stories and scenarios and whatnot. But I think there's like a subtle thing that goes underneath, where like these plastic toys are coming to life, and they've got great nuance, and they've got like a wound to work through, and they've got to learn how to work together and to mend fences with people they're at odds with, and so on and so forth. I just think it could be a bit of a parable for our culture. Plastic tends to be like superficial and shallow, where having flesh means like have more of a depth of life, and maybe this is a subtle thing that are those Pixar movies, like Pixar saying, "Hey, y'all, stop being so shallow and start living life and start evolving a little bit and growing up, just like these toys are doing before your eyes." So I think it's kind of a cool little trope and a call and a commission to our culture as well.
Yeah, they're great movies. I'm excited to see where Buzz came from.
Yeah, man.
To infinity
To infinity and beyond.
Yes. Imagine being in that creative room thinking about where did
Buzz Lightyear come
what's
from?
the story going to be, and what can we use from the movie so far, and blah, blah, blah. So it's good stuff. So I can't wait to see it.
Buzz Lightyear, journey number 1.
That's right.
Speaking of mending fences and having mature attitudes,
Okay.
another one this morning is all these school board meetings.
Oh.
People are losing their mind, not being
Yeah.
very kind,
Right. Threatening people.
cursing out loud in front of children. Lots of
Yeah.
bad things are happening.
Yeah.
So if you're not following, of course, there's around the country, various schools are handling the vaccines, the masks in various ways.
Yeah.
And there's this new thing of parents coming to board meetings and not being very kind with sharing their opinions
Yeah.
about all the things that are going on around the country. So
Yeah.
speaking of, what you were talking about with being mature,
Yeah.
what we just talked about,
Yeah.
what do you think about this, Joe? How can we be better at, let's give the parents the benefit of the doubt. Their kids are in a difficult situation.
Yes.
They are highly opinionated,
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Right.
So it's a hard spot for anybody to be in.
It is.
But yelling
Yeah.
is probably not the best solution.
I guess, my first comment would be, who would have thought a school board meeting would be such an attractive place to go? I mean, the easy school board meetings are so thin in the crowd, and they're boring, and it's Robert's Rule of Orders, so on and so forth, and now they're like, the most important thing on a person's calendar. But I think also, I don't know, it's always strange in my mind when adults act like kids and kids act like adults. I think we just need to step back for a moment and say, hey, like, how can I look for the benefit of the whole? How can we sit down and reason together instead of shout past one another? Because as Ted Lasso says, like we need to have a unified culture. We need to have a unified home. He wanted a unified locker room.
Yes.
What he said was, I like my locker rooms like I like my mom's bathing suit, one piece. And think about American culture. Like,
It's hard to argue with that.
It would be great if we could be one piece again, and hopefully that would lead us to reason together.
Yeah.
So be more curious instead of shouting past one another.
Yep.
I think that would be good prescription for the long haul.
I agree. Curiosity is a good way to solve some of that anger.
Yeah,
So if you're going to any board meetings, be kind.
that's right. Yeah.
Speaking of Halloween, I've heard of some people going as angry school board parents for Halloween.
Oh my God.
Which I think is kind of funny. Okay, next up, there's this term I heard for the first time this week that I'm starting to hear more and more.
Okay.
We're in the middle of what people are calling the Great Resignation.
Yeah.
Not the Great Depression or not the Great Recession, but the Great Resignation.
Yeah.
So over the past couple of years with COVID and all those things, a lot of minimum wage workers are quitting those jobs either to not work or to find other employment.
Right.
So you're probably noticing this if you go to restaurants and their dining room is closed, or maybe they have different hours, or unfortunately a lot of businesses have completely shut down just because
Right.
they can't find enough workers. So
Right.
what have you been hearing about all that?
Well, I think it's a complex situation. I think people were assuming that job numbers weren't bouncing back because people were enjoying the extra unemployment benefits. But here we have now, like, those are no longer available. And so what do we say now of, the job situation out there? In the summer, it did bounce back a little bit, but now it's soft again. But there's just a ton of people in the month of August who resigned from their jobs. I do think people are stressed. I do think there's a large sector of society that's overworked and underappreciated. Probably had to stretch a little bit further than the other industries in regards to like the mitigation of COVID-19. I also think that people took the quarantine era and they use it as a moment to reflect. And this is the reporting that I've heard. People said, I was a kitchen staff worker, but now I want to do real estate. And so they're resigning, and they're like taking a great big plunge, and they're saying, actually, I want to try something different. My mind's been opened. I want to do something different with my one and only life, is what Pastor Brent likes to say, your one and only life.
Yep.
And so I think that there's just a great shift in the job market, because I think there's something about a pandemic that once again has affected 1 out of every 500 Americans, that we should expect great tectonic plates and shifting in our culture to happen. And this is just, I think, one of the things that are adjusting in a moment like this, in a culture like ours. And so I think if you're out there and you've been mulling over, should I jump into something new? What do I do with the rest of my life? I think you're not alone. And I think that what one thing the church can come and help you with is come alongside you and help you discern and listen about what God's will is with you, so that you can figure out what your next faithful step is. I think something we should be good at.
Yeah.
If this is the thing that is going on in culture right now. So,
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
One little nugget I read somewhere is that unfortunately these minimum wage workers were often on the receiving end, kind of like these school board parents.
Yeah.
People who come into a restaurant or a store and they're upset that they have to wear masks, they're upset that they can't come in if they're vaccinated, whatever.
Yeah.
And these poor young people who are getting a few dollars an hour
Right.
just get yelled at all day, and they decide it's not worth it. I can't blame them.
That's right.
And along with that, so there's that, and then also there's more and more things like Uber Eats and Grubhub and places like that where you can actually make a pretty good living if you do it full time and are work hard, do well at it.
Yeah.
There's things like Amazon hiring drivers and customer service reps and Amazon pays pretty well. So it's also just a shift in what kind of jobs are available to younger people or people who haven't graduated or whatever. There's just a shift in what's available to them.
I mean, if you're going to have a choice between getting screamed at for a 50-cent increase in coffee or driving by yourself delivering packages to people's doorsteps, that's a pretty easy decision to make, right?
Yeah.
Can't blame them.
But it's going to shift our American life a little bit. If fast food places and retail stores have to shift how they handle customers,
you bet.
Our world might look a lot different in a couple of years.
Change is constant. That's the only thing we can count on. I think Mark Twain said, nobody likes change. He's like, the only person who likes a change is a baby, and they cry through the whole process. And that's true.
Was that Mark Twain or was that Coach Lasso?
I think that was Mark Twain, but I think Ted Lasso would say it.
I think so too, because it sort of sounds like Ted Lasso.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, well, are we close to Cheryl's house?
I just missed our turn.
Oh, okay.
We'll
turn around.
We're going to go the scenic route.
Okay, perfect. While we're doing that, let's hit our last topic.
Okay.
So, Halloween.
All right.
So, we're obviously in our Halloween costumes. Halloween's on Sunday this year.
Oh, yeah. It makes up an interesting little dilemma.
So, I'm curious, if you're a Ridgepoint person and if you're going to come to church on Sunday, let us know in the comments. Are you going to dress up? Are you coming in your costumes? I'm kind of on the fence. I can't decide. I think, Joe, I mean, you've got most of yours ready to go.
I know. Most people are going to go, why does Pastor Joe have a mustache? But some people are going to get it.
Yes.
That'll be good. Yeah.
So let us know if you're going to come to Ridgepoint in your Halloween costume. We'd love to know ahead of time, so we're curious.
That's right.
Okay, Joe, what are your thoughts on Christians and Halloween? Should we Christians celebrate Halloween?
Right. So I think this is a complex scenario. Obviously, bits of Halloween are associated with like spirits and evil, scaring, and like there's horror movies that obviously you have a hard time figuring out if you should watch those things for pure entertainment or not. And so I think there are a decent amount of Christians who want to avoid it altogether, and that's your choice. It's your prerogative. I've seen as a pastor, people just like turn off the lights. They don't pass out candy. They just go to the basement. They watch movies, and they just kind of write it out, right? But then I heard along the way that some Christian traditions actually embrace Halloween because it does make a mockery of death. If you remember from the scripture, it says that the last enemy that we have is death, and Jesus is victorious over it. And if you're familiar with the church calendar, you know that November the 1st every year is All Saints Day. And one of the things that we celebrate on All Saints Day is that all the saints of God are victorious. We have passed through death. The last enemy, we're victorious over it, and now we can enjoy the abundant and eternal type of life that God gives us. And so some Christians actually embrace it as a form of worship, while some Christians resist it because they want to resist the devil, as what the scripture tells us. So it's a complex scenario. Our family loves Halloween. It's always lighthearted, and we love passing out candy to the neighborhood kids, lighting a fire in the front of the house and chatting up the neighbors if they're into that sort of thing. So anyways, we do, but not. I understand why some Christians may not.
Yeah. I think Halloween is a great opportunity for Christians, wherever you land on Halloween.
Right.
It's a great place for you to show grace.
Okay.
If you're not celebrating, great. Maybe be kind to those who are.
Right.
If you are, don't be judgmental towards those who are.
That's right.
That's just a good way to live, I would say, is have your opinions, but you don't always have to share them in a way that's going to turn people away from you and hurt your relationship in the long run. So.
Yeah. I think as Ted Lasso says, I think what the internet has told us is that we should share opinions anonymously.
Right.
Yeah.
That works out really, really well.
I think so.
Every time.
Yes.
Okay, well, those are the topics we're going to hit today.
Okay.
We're on a detour because Joe missed his turn.
I missed several turns. We're like on.
We're two into our
We're going to
conversation
be
here.
chilling on a dirt road.
So how about this? Let's take a time out while we keep driving.
All right.
We'll be back in just a minute when we get to Cheryl's house.
All right.
Stay tuned.
2 hours later.
Okay, so after a little bit of a detour,
Oh man, dirt road, splashing around.
yeah, we're almost to Cheryl's house. So we just wanted to give you an update. We're almost there. And I think our plan is we're going to get Cheryl's hot thoughts on Halloween.
That's right.
Once she gets over the shock of us showing up on her door.
Yeah, let's hope she's ready. If she's not, even better. Makes for
Even
good
better.
TV.
This is reality TV in the making.
I missed
so
her turn again, man. All right.
you got to pay attention.
I know.
Okay, we'll see you on the doorstep.
She doesn't want to come out. Hey, you're on an episode of Trending.
I'm number 7?
You're on trending right now.
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are. And I'm Ted Lasso for Halloween. He likes to give out army guys, so here you go.
It does.
Yes.
How long did it take you to get that mustache done?
Good 3 weeks. So, we're out trick-or-treating, but we want to ask you a question because you've wanted to be on Trending.
I want to be on trending.
This is your lifelong dream come true right
Are
now.
you guys going to come in or are we standing in the
Oh,
cold?
Do you want us to come
we
in?
inside?
Yeah,
We're trick-or-treating. Do you have candy?
I do. Of course I do.
Well, let's go and get some candy. It's cold, too. So you get to answer one of the trending topics.
Okay. So funny.
Yes, okay. $100,000. One of the trending topics is Halloween, obviously. So we get to chat a little bit about Halloween, about how sometimes Christians differ in their opinion about Halloween. But tell us what you think about Halloween. What are your thoughts?
I hate Halloween.
You hate
I
Halloween?
always hated Halloween.
What do you hate about Halloween?
The whole thing is just crazy. I mean, from the biblical perspective, it's really evil.
Sure.
It is. I know that in America we don't consider it evil. It's just fun for the kids. It's just fun. Give them candy and dress them up.
That's fair.
I'm not into that.
Okay.
My poor kids got trick-or-treated about 4 times in their life, and they will tell you about that and how devastating it was for their childhood.
Oh, no.
But
We can understand that.
I've loosened up some. Obviously, I'm giving candy out this year. Some years I haven't. I've done the old turn the light out, we're not home deal.
Right.
But yeah, I think the grandkids are actually coming here to trick or treat. So
Nice.
Grandma's going to do what the kids need. So the heck with biblical convictions.
I love it. You could, how about, okay, so right now, Buzz Lightyear
Oh yeah, I
is,
saw that.
is trending. So
I
tell us
actually
what you
watched the
think.
trailer because I am cool like that.
So tell us what you think about Buzz Lightyear.
I think it's going to be a fun movie, but I'm going to disassociate it from Toy Story.
Okay.
It's clearly a different storyline, whatnot. But it looks pretty cute. I don't know why they're using Chris Evans as the voice. What happened to my friend Tim Allen?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Look at you. You are up on the pop culture. Look at you.
This is me.
You're the authority on Buzz
You caught me
Lightyear.
on a good day.
I won't show that your husband Bill was just shaking his head when we said that.
Hey, see you later. Thank you for the Army Man, Ted.
No problem.
All right, that was fun. We just left the Plucker's house.
Yeah.
Thanks to Cheryl and Bill for letting us bombard your house.
Yes.
Thanks for the candy.
Absolutely.
That was a good time.
Yes.
So thanks for you for watching, for tuning in today. Some fun topics today. And we'll be back next week. We hope you have a great Halloween weekend, whether you celebrate it or not. Hope to see you at church. We'd love to see your costumes if you're going to be at Rich Point. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we might just show up to where you're at too, so you just never know. Like, this could be a thing.
If your doorbell rings on a Thursday morning, you never know.
Never know what's gonna happen.
Never know. Okay.
All right.
Happy Thursday. Happy weekend. See you next time.
See you next time.
You look great, by the way. Whatever it is you're doing, it's working.